Stop it. What's good, family? It's your man the YB, back once again. Big shout out to my doggy Abercrombie and Fitch for coming through and boosting up the coin. So we just saw there, this right here is a leak from my doggies in Africa, my home brothers, the motherland brothers, leaking this footage. This right here is the African version of Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury, and I have to say, listen, I'm not sure which Don's which, but this is a fair representation. Yeah, Timmy Farmballs versus Jake Paul. Let's not forget, people. Yeah, this wasn't billed as a. I mean, we've heard fighters in the past who come out and say, "Listen, people, I'm fighting a tough man. He's a good fighter, have a good chin. We're both going to give our best, and we'll see how it goes. Obviously, I believe I can win, but listen, it's going to be a tough night's work." This isn't one of them ones. Like I said, we've all heard them ones before. We've heard people saying, yeah, it's going to be a tough night's work. Yeah, this wasn't one of them ones. This was, if I haven't got this guy out of there, both men, Jake Paul and Timmy, listen, if I haven't got this guy out of there in 3 rounds, you might as well, I've lost the fight. Yeah? Jake Paul fans, myself included, Timmy's got no chin, Timmy's got no power. I stand by that. Honestly, if there's any billionaires out there, yeah, please, pay Timmy. I want to run it with Timmy. Give me 6 months. I'll do a better job than Jake Paul, guaranteed. Any people with a whole bunch of coins out there who want to see the YB punch up Timmy, you know what to do. Tell Timmy we'll pay him, I don't know, for someone like me, he'll probably do it for 500 grand. An easy, you know what I mean? Easy pay. Pay me, I don't know, pay me 50 bags. I'll do it 50 bags. 50 bags, I'll punch Timmy up differently. You best believe it as well. I will punch him up different. I'm going in there, elbows in, chin down, straight forward. Ramrod jab, I ain't taking a back step, I guarantee you. If I take a back, listen, take this to the bank. If I take a back step, I've lost. Simple as that. I'll tell you now. We can write into the contract, if the YB takes one back step, the fight's null and void, and he's lost. I'm going straight forward. I'm going straight forward, and all this flippy-fappy rubbish, no good. Elbows in, chin down, and I'm walking straight forward. If I go out on my back, I go out on my back. And if I don't, yeah, if I jack, or don't do anything I'm saying, I'll tell you, listen, people, I talk to big game, and I should have nothing to do with boxing, because I'm all talk. That's what I'll do, I kid you not. I like to think I'm a pretty honest guy. I don't lie there isn't a history of me lying all the time and trying to make out I was right and covering bases. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Anyway, end of the day, people, you see the squabble here. This is what it was. Yeah? Embarrassing. Neither man, Timmy or the JP, not even, forget that. His name ain't the JP, his name's Jake Paul. Yeah? People who fight like that don't get nicknames. His name's Jake Paul, Jacob Paul. Yeah? Jacob Paul and Timmy Farmballs. They're both like pulling back. Even John Fury was saying, stand behind your jab. Put one out there. Instead it was like this. But both fighters wanted to hit people without being hit. And there's a difference. Oh, well, casual fans or semi-casual fans, or the most dangerous boxing fans, yeah, are the ones who think they know something about the game. And I'm not saying I'm a big pro, but I'm just calling it what it is. And the dangerous semi-casual fans who think they know something about the game, they say things like, well, YB, that's the aim of the game, hit and not get hit. No, it's not. The aim of the game isn't to be leaning back and finning. No. Hit and not get hit means you do the things you're supposed to do, and at the same time have a level of defense about it. Do you get what I'm saying? It doesn't mean, oh, I don't want to get hit, so rather than committing and walking my feet in, I'll look like Jake Paul, for example. Jake Paul jabs and he's looking at the floor or looking backwards, trying to keep his head out of the way. But it's not, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not, I'm YB, but Jake Paul's hitting and not being hit. No, that's not what it is. It's self-preservation at all costs. You can see it here. Again, this is the leaked Africa Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury. They're pulling back and it's so awkward. You'll never see top boxers or any decent boxers fighting like this. Any decent boxers, they know if you go into water, you get wet. So you won't see them leaning back and trying to put something out. They know. I mean, Makabu versus Badu Jack is a solid example of what real boxing looks like. Or that other fight. Who was it? Maurice versus Ponce? Ponce versus that guy, the other one. Ponce versus the winner at the weekend. That there is classic boxing. Proper boxing. Both men were in there tangling it up. None of this, I'm leaning back, I'm leaning and trying to jab at the same time. It doesn't make no sense. We know force is going forward. So it's contradictory to put a punch out and lean back at the same time. The only people doing that are the ones who don't want to be hit. That's their focus. You're not focusing on hitting someone when you're leaning back. You're focusing on trying to nick something and get something for nothing. And that's the problem with this new generation. It's all about self-preservation. Boxers today will do anything not to be hit. They're not even bothered about getting their own shots off. It's all about self-preservation. No fighter really wants to put themselves out there. You know what? I'll take one to give one. And that doesn't mean that you put your chin in the air and just start wilding out. But you can go back through history. Fighters in the past, when they would jab, they'd at least walk their feet in. These days, it's like, I got you, and I'm pulling back, and you know what I mean? It's like tippy-tappy crap. Rubbish. Canelo, even, fair play to Bivol. When Bivol was punching up Canelo, yeah, he wasn't, Beterbiev does it great. Beterbiev follows all the way through with his jabs. He ain't trying to pull back, and he coming in with it. He trying to light you up. He trying to send you to Mars. And he ain't looking at the floor either. Jake Paul's like, if I look at the floor, then maybe it's not happening. If I look at the floor, then... And that's why I say Timmy Fury is so bad, because it's a miracle Jake Paul didn't get knocked out. The amount of times he was throwing his hands and looking at the floor, looking backwards, looking to the right, looking to the left, it's unbelievable. That's what I mean when I say Timmy is so bad. Over half of the punches Jake Paul threw, he was looking anywhere but the actual target. That's why his accuracy, that's why he wasn't landing his shots. Again, it's a miracle he even landed. I mean, how he knocked down Tommy's is a miracle. You can literally see it. He's looking at the floor, and he was doing it all night, looking at the floor and jabbing, trying to keep his head out of the way whilst putting a punch out. When in reality, what you're supposed to do is, true boxing, or higher level boxing is, okay, I'm going to jab, and then I'm going to walk a jab in, and then cover up. That's what Bivol does well. Bivol can move his feet, but even when you move your feet, moving your feet, you don't want to be doing two things at the same time. What Jake Paul and Timmy Fury do, they kind of like, I'll jab and pull back at the same time. No, commit with a jab and then walk the jab in and then walk the jab out. Yeah? Commit with a jab and then backpedal. That's what Bivol does well. Bivol will step in with some shots with his feet. He won't lunge in looking at the floor. He'll walk some shots in and then he'll step out. Basic stuff. Or Bivol at times against Canelo would walk some shots in, stay toe-to-toe and cover up. Not, I want to jab, but I don't want to take any chances of being hit, so I'll pull back as I'm jabbing. I'll pull back looking at the floor as I jab. Now Timmy, he wasn't as bad as that, but equally, he was all fluffy as well. He was all fluff, not listening to his dad's advice, as it happens, thankfully for Tommy fans. But Tommy Fury was scared to death all night of a shot from Jake Paul. Timmy Fury was scared to death all night of being countered by a man who was looking at the floor the whole night. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, where's the IQ there? If Timmy had any IQ, he'd have said, listen, I've noticed Jake Paul's looking at the floor when he throws his shots. Every time Jake Paul would throw a shot, he'd look at the floor, cover up, and still keep looking at the floor. If Timmy Fury had a second phase, it'd have been a wrap for Jake Paul. That would have ended up being a boxing lesson. But Timmy didn't want to even risk that. Timmy didn't want to risk following up against a man who's looking at the floor. You know what I mean? That shows you how scary these guys are. They're not real. They're not real boxers. They're not real. They're just TikTok stars. That's what it is. The same way these cats here. Yeah? Exactly the same. This fight is almost... I've got to be real with you. When I saw this video on Twitter, I thought this must be some sort of deep fake. Yeah? This was a deep fake, an African deep fake of Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury. Is literally. Look, watch. Watch. So the guy, yeah. Look. He pulling back, he pulling back. Look, pulling back and... Yeah, pulling back and throwing shit. Classic. This is classic Jake Paul versus Timmy Fumbles. Anyway, I'm not going to keep rambling, but let me know your thoughts. Am I wrong? If I'm wrong, yeah, and you man saw someone else, you tell me what you saw. You show me where you saw Tommy Fury plant his feet and drill a jab in and drill a right hand in. It was all touch, and then run. But we've known Furies do this, but still. That's why really I'm angry about Jake Paul, because Jake Paul, you're supposed to be the power guy. What's the point being a power guy if you're looking at the floor for half of the fight? Do you know what I'm saying? That doesn't make no sense. There's so many ways you can base your career in that. Or if you want to be a power puncher, the booklets out there. Canelo versus Plant, Canelo versus Billy Joe, all them kind of fighters, Lara, a whole bunch of them. Even Liam Smith, even to a lower level, Liam Smith, classic. Elbows in, chin down. That's what you got if you're power punching. For the most part, that's what you got to be doing. Golovkin. All these great power punchers have set the precedent. And Jake Paul in there with his hands by his waist, trying to be like a fake Naz, essentially. Naz really is one of the only power punchers in history I know that's had low hands. And guess what? The thing about Naz, the reason Naz was able to pull off low hands as a power puncher was why. He was prepared to get put down. It's not like, you know what I mean? Naz would go in there, low hands, stepping and slipping and winging huge shots, but he would go down. Yeah? Naz wasn't under the illusions that, I'm going to be a big heavy power puncher with my hands down and never be hit. No, he understood that and took that and went down many times. That's why Kevin Kelly was such an amazing fight. Naz was prepared to tangle and go down. These fighters today, because of Floyd Mayweather, I've never been down, and they've changed, and now it's not about winning and looking good or being entertaining. It's about, don't go down. And the worst thing is, Tommy Fury was scared to death, Jake Paul was scared to death to exchange. Not once in the whole fight did we see them hold their feet in exchange. Go back and watch Ponce at the weekend. Ponce versus some dude, I forgot the guy's name. They were exchanging all night from round one. And I'm not saying that's the only way to box, but you should surely have some of that in your repertoire. If I need to, I know I can stand and let my hands go. That's what Jake Paul's plan should. He should have had that plan. Elbows in, chin down, pole drive in the jab, feint jab, pop. Yeah, feint coming. Canelo does this great. Canelo, offensively, Canelo doesn't have the best feet, or Canelo's quite heavy-footed. Why? He likes to sit down. He likes his shots to be powerful. But Canelo has a great. That's how you beat Billy Joe. Billy Joe's is much slicker than Timmy Fumbles. What did Canelo do? Feint, whip. That's how you bring your power into play. You don't bring your power into play looking at the floor and leaping in with a right hand in the middle of the ring. How are you going to win it? How are you going to hit a man who's got decent feet and you're throwing a right hand in the middle of the ring? Who does that? Loading up when a man's against the ropes is one thing. Loading up in the centre of the ring, looking at the floor, it's just wild. There was no kind of positioning. I don't know what Jake Paul's team be doing. If I was training Jake Paul, hands up, we got to get Timmy to the ropes. That is how you beat the boxer 101. Mike Tyson knew it. Canelo knows it. If you've not got him on the ropes, your fight isn't in the centre of the ring. Instead, we saw Jake Paul in the centre of the ring, posturing, getting his head jabbed the whole night, essentially. Do you know what I'm saying? It's wild. But Canelo, like I said, Canelo has a great feint. He feint, stepping forward, walking his feet in, which backs his opponent up, and then he wings a big right hook. That's how you bring your power into play. Feint, rip. Feint, jab, rip. Jab, rip. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And it's, of course, YB, it's easier said than done, but the crazy thing is, Jake Paul was being hit anyway. Yeah? So all that self-preservation rubbish, you was being jabbed anyway. You might as well have had your hands up, been jabbed the same way, and have been getting your own shots off. That's the contradiction of it all. These guys are so worried about self-preservation, they end up not getting any of their own offense off, and then still get hit. It's wild, man. And you don't, honestly, can you believe BJ Flores probably, or Billy Joe's team Jake Paul's team made, $1 million or more. But then again, look at AJ's team. AJ team, the same thing. Now, Usyk is miles slicker than what's his name? Than Timmy Fumbles. But still, that's all AJ needed. AJ, get your elbows in, get your chin down. Pop, bang. Do you know what I'm saying? Feint, bang. Accept you're going to get hit. But it seems to be the trainers these days don't be having them conversations. Trainers these days, oh, champ. Yeah, you're winning, champ. Yeah, champ, don't worry, champ. Yeah, you got that round, champ. What? You got that round? You're boxing to his game. Jake Paul boxed Timmy Fury's fight the whole night. AJ boxed Usyk's fight the whole night for two fights, apart from one round. I think it was round 9. Yeah? Out of 24 rounds, AJ opened up in one round. And in that one round, he nearly stopped the guy. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, why weren't you doing that in the first round of the first fight? Big buff looking ass Nick. And if you're powerful, that's what the game plan has to be. Elbows in, chin down, accept. You're probably going to take it. Well, not probably. If you're a power puncher, the whole shtick has to be, I'm taking shots tonight. Lara knew it. Lara, who fought the other weekend and knocked out, I've got his name now, but whoever it was. Lara knew, yeah, I'm going to have to sacrifice taking a few shots tonight to get my own off. In fact, Lara took more than a few shots. Lara was taking shots all night, and then next thing you know, dude's sleeping. Yeah? That's what pressure fighting is, if you want to be a power puncher. Let's get rid of this narrative of, oh, you can be a power puncher and still never get hit. Like, who doing that one? You know what I'm saying? It's delusional. Golovkin, one of the best pressure fighters, power punchers of the last 20 years. He takes shots all night. That's part of the game. Now, of course, you're not advertising your head to be hit, but that's what your hands are up for. But that's the best you can do. That's the best you can hope for. Again, Liam Smith versus Eubank. Liam Smith had to sacrifice himself at the end of round 3 for round 4 to come off. Pressure fighting 101. Yes, you will be getting hit tonight. Understand that. That's a certainty. You will be getting hit tonight. And you may be hit hard. But as a power puncher and as a pressure fighter, you're betting on yourself. I'm backing that whatever Timmy Fury can do, I can hit him twice as hard, and hence I'll end up winning. And that's how Canelo broke down all these other fighters. He broke Billy Joe down. He broke Caleb Plant down. He broke Callum Smith down. He bet on himself. Yeah, you might land some jabs and some little shots, but I know whatever shots you're landing, mine are going to, over time, be more impactful. And that's how it goes. Until he fought Bivol. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button, subscribe, and lick off the bell.